Hi, I'm Bob Allgeo.
And I'm Annette Allgeo. Bob and I got married in 2007. I was 41, almost 42 years old, and Bob was 50 years old. But we knew from the beginning that we wanted to have children.
So one of the first things we did, actually when I proposed to her after she said yes, we prayed about having children, and God gave us a very definitive yes. So after we got married, we tried naturally for a few years. When nothing happened, we still were very faithful and knew we were going to have kids because God had told us.
And then Bob got a phone call from an agency that also handles adoption. It was about a different subject, but it got him talking about adoption, and he called me immediately about it, and we decided that was a really clear sign that if we were going to adopt, we better seriously think about it and get going with it.
So I was at work one day and I was praying, and I told God, I know you told us we were going to have a baby, and I'm very faithful. I know you're going to deliver. I said, but I just soon not wait as long as Abraham and Sarah. Immediately when I quit praying, and I said, God, whatever your will is, I got the phone call, and it was, again, someone from Catholic Charities about an adoption. So I immediately knew that was the answer.
After a few times, a few different people that we talked to, it all came down to Kristen and her baby boy.
But she was taking methadone to get off an addiction that she had, I think, to heroin, which is a very tough addiction. And the methadone was to help her get off it. And when you become pregnant, if you get off the methadone, it would force her to have a miscarriage, and she would have lost the child. So she had to make a very real decision in her life, which is still amazing to us that she chose life for the child, even though it probably would have been easier for her not to. In the midst of her struggle and her addiction, she still chose life, and with that she had to stay on the methadone for until the pregnancy was over.
So Benjamin Franklin Allgeo was born December 20th, 2012. He was in the hospital. We met him there. I was the first one that got to hold him, but he was in the NICU. And the first few days he had just normal complications of being born 5 weeks early. He struggled for 9 days. The pain kept getting worse for him, and at that point we had to put him on morphine.
When we got there, he was on in an incubator. He was on a feeding tube. He was with oxygen, and he was having the withdrawal symptoms. So he would shake violently, like every 5 minutes or so, and he would get so stiff that remember the doctor could just pick him up by his hands, and he could just pick him whole thing up from his wrist. He would stay stiff. But the thing I remember the most about all of it was when we went into the hospital and saw Ben for the first time, and I looked at Annette's face, and as much as the baby when the first time she saw him, and I mean, I would not give that up for all the gold in the world right now, because her face just lit up, and there's our little baby laying there in the incubator with all the tubes and everything hooked up to him, and all you could see was the love in her eyes, and the excitement, and the joy that she saw. So because that was the first time she'd been dreaming of being a mother her whole life, and that was the moment it came true.